Hello everybody, it's Matthew Street. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you being here. And folks, Buddy Holly, the great one. Folks, I have been a fan of Buddy Holly since I was a kid. I've done numerous videos about him. I don't know if I have a Buddy playlist up there of all my Buddy videos, but maybe I should put one together if I don't. But whenever I think of Buddy, or whenever something new comes up about Buddy Holly, whether it's music or something like a book or whatever, I get sad because I think about what could have been, how at the tender age of barely 22 years old, lost his life in that tragic plane crash in Iowa after playing at the Surf Ballroom. Folks, it's just heartbreaking. The Big Bopper lost his life. Richie Valens, the pilot, Roger Peterson, so senseless. And you think about what we lost. I mean, certainly with the Big Bopper and Richie Valens, but more importantly with Buddy Holly and what could have been and how he would have advanced popular music to who knows what heights had he lived, and what he would have produced, what he would have done, who he would have influenced more and more. He influenced so many as it was at just the age of 22 when he passed away. Well, I've heard about something new involving Buddy Holly, and here it is. It's not really that new. It came out earlier this year, but I wasn't aware of it. It's from the Genesis Publications, and it's called Buddy Holly, Words of Love. Now, there is a special edition limited to 500 copies of this, which is in like a special bound cover, and it's signed by the originators of this project, which were Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend from The Who, and they signed the special edition. There's all kinds of extras in it, but it costs like $1,000. So Matthew Street was not going that route, even though I believe the special deluxe edition of this is still available. I got the standard hardcover edition of Words of Love. And folks, let me tell you, Genesis did a fantastic job on this publication, and I encourage any of you out there that are a fan of rock and roll, popular music, or Buddy Holly, you need to get a copy of this. And the reason I'm telling you about this right now is because I just got my copy on Amazon, but you can get it at other outlets like Target and this one and that one and that one. Check prices, because it goes for like $75, this hardbound, beautiful copy by Genesis, but I got it for like 30% off, and I only paid like $50 for this, okay? So that's a great price for something of this quality, folks. So let me show you a little bit of it real quick. It's heavy. The binding is absolutely beautiful. You can't believe how thick this book is, how beautifully it's done. Okay. It's heavy, folks. It's a big one, and it's fantastic. I have never seen a more comprehensive anthology book to Buddy Holly than Words of Love, folks. This has everything in it. Let me read something to you. It's a little dark. I know it doesn't seem dark because I only have one little light on, but let me take off my shaded glasses to put on my old man glasses. Let me read something to you here. Tells you all about where this originated. Conceived in 2017 from a conversation with Roger Daltrey, Words of Love is the definitive celebration of musician, songwriter, and rock and roll trailblazer Buddy Holly. Created in partnership with Maria Elena Holly and the Buddy Holly Educational Foundation, this seminal volume offers an intimate look at Buddy's life and his lasting legacy, revealing the man behind the timeless music. Words of Love features, now get what's in this thing, over 400 rare and archival items, including photographs, personal letters, handwritten notes, clothing, iconic glasses, guitars, tour posters, recording agreements, contracts, press cuttings, and much, much more. Many of which are previously unpublished, and I can attest to that. I never saw a lot of the stuff in this book, and I have a lot of stuff on Buddy Holly. Through these artifacts and an extensive collection of rare and never-before-seen photographs, Words of Love charts the unusual rise of a musical pioneer who defied conventions and shaped the future of rock and roll. With forewords by Maria Elena Holley and Paul McCartney, and an afterword by Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend, Buddy's legacy is recounted through the voices of those who knew him best. And folks, you can't believe the cornucopia of superstars that are represented and given sections in this book. Bandmates, Jerry J.I. Allison, Sonny Curtis, as well as his friends like Paul Anka, Dion, Dwayne Eddy, and Don Everly. They all share their memories alongside insights from over 80 influential musicians. And they're not kidding, folks. You're getting stuff, a page dedicated and information from David Gilmour, Emmylou Harris, Van Morrison, Dolly Parton, Robert Plant, Bruce Springsteen, Sting, and Brian Wilson. And I could go on and on. I'm going to show you as much as I can. From his Texas roots to his work with the Crickets to his final months of innovation preceding his tragic death, Words of Love unravels the complexities of Buddy Holly's life and celebrates his enduring influence on music history. Folks, you cannot believe the Beatles and Buddy get their own chapter in this book. Ringo Starr is highlighted. Paul McCartney is highlighted. Justin Hayward and John Lodge from the Moody Blues, highlighted. Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, highlighted. Ozzy Osbourne's in here. I mean, they got this great thing what they do with this book, folks. I'll try to show you a little bit of it. They have the foreword by Maria Elena and Paul McCartney. And then you get chapter 1 is his early years up to 55. Chapter 2 is 56. Chapter 3 is 57. Chapter 4 is 58. Chapter 5 is 59. And then his legacy and his honored friends and acknowledgments are given. And then an afterword by Roger and Pete. And what's beautiful about this, folks, is Maria Elena's forward. There's Paul's forward over there. You have to get this to see it all, folks. You know, family pictures. 1953 to 55. It's unbelievable, folks. But I want to go to this one set. His guitars are shown, his early Les Paul he had, his early amplifiers. I mean, it's unbelievable. His acoustic with the leather covering, picture with him and a buddy of his following Elvis in a crowd over here. Oh, you got to see that. What a great picture. Details on his guitar. Now here's the they have multiple sections like this in there. It's called the Buddy Holly Educational Foundation Ambassadors. And what they do is every artist gets their own page. So Niles Rodgers writes a piece about Buddy and he's holding a Buddy guitar. All right. You get Richard Thompson, Joe Ely, Richard Hawley, Kevin Montgomery, Peter Noon from Herman's Hermits. Unbelievable. John Sebastian. Then you go to the next chapter, 1956. But listen to some of these ambassadors that are in here. All right. You got Van Morrison gets a section. Joan Jett gets a section. All right. Chapter with Joan Jett. Dave Grohl. Folks, Ronnie Wood also did the cover painting. Let's give Ronnie some credit where credit's due. Thank you, Ronnie Wood from the Stones. Ronnie gets a whole section writing about Buddy. You get James Burton. You get Jeff Beck before he passed away, contributed. Tommy Steele, Jules Holland. My goodness. Dwayne Eddy, The Edge from U2 gets a section. Chris Isaac, Robert Plant, I told you about. Bruce Springsteen, I told you about, gets a section. It's absolutely stunning what all these extra. Buddy Guy. Then you go into 1957. I just want to read some of the celebrities. If you love somebody in music, folks, they're probably in Words of Love. They're probably given a section in here, the ambassadors, to give a piece about Buddy. So you got J.I. Allison, Buddy's bandmate, has a section. You have Eric Clapton has a section. Sonny Curtis, his bandmate. Brian Wilson. There's Brian holding Buddy's, a copy of Buddy's guitar, or the guitar. Noki Edwards from The Ventures. You got Ringo Starr has a beautiful section and picture. Got to show you that. There's Ringo. Marshall Crenshaw, Peter Frampton, Joe Walsh, Keith Richards. What I'm saying, folks, I could go on and on. John Fogerty. I can't name them all because I want to get this out to you. But this book is absolutely stunning. It's one of the best records and cornucopias, anthologies of Buddy Holly that I've ever seen. I have never had a book this comprehensive about Buddy, and I have many Buddy Holly books, but this is beautiful. I believe it came out earlier this year or last year, 2024. I didn't know anything about it. Sue me. I don't know why I didn't know anything about it. But Genesis Publications, you know the quality they put into their works. If you want to foot the bill for the deluxe edition with the autographs from Daltrey and Townsend, you can spend go spend $1,000. You can get one. I think they're still available. Last I checked. But folks, it's embossed. This is so nice. This is a hardcover standard edition for $75 retail. But if you go to like different outlets right now and check on prices, you can get like 30% off and get it for like $50. Folks, if you're a fan, you got to get it. It's like, yeah, it's mandatory. All right. So that's it, folks. I just want to tell you about this great Buddy Holly book, Words of Love. Genesis Publications, the most comprehensive anthology of Buddy and his life, legacy, and career that I've ever seen. And I love it. And I'm going to dive right back into it as soon as this video is over. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.